Good afternoon, everybody. Mike Nobles, Crossview Realty. Boy, do I have something for you today.
Okay, let's look at this house. I'm excited for you. Before I open it, did you get a chance to sign the showing agreement?
No, I didn't. What's that all about?
Now you have to have an agreement with your agent before going in to tour a home. Very simple. The seller can still pay your agent's commission. They can still do closing costs. They can still do a lot of other things that they've always done. I know you have a lot of questions, so let's kind of go through this real quick.
This is a consumer guide to written buyer's agreements put out by the National Association of Realtors, NAR. If you're a homeowner working with an agent who's a realtor, it means you're working with a professional, ethically obligated to work in your best interest. As of August 17, 2024, you'll be asked to sign a written buyer's agreement after you have chosen the professional you want to work with. Here's what you should know about these agreements. It is basically an outline of the services that you will receive from your real estate professional and also what they're going to get paid for those services. Florida's had the buyer's agent agreement for years, but a lot of agents just haven't used it. But now it is mandatory. These agreements are negotiable, such as the services you want to receive, the length of the agreement, and the compensation. Compensation between you and your real estate professional is negotiable and is not set by law. You will need to enter into a written agreement with your real estate professional before touring a home with them, either in person or virtually. While you're responsible for paying your real estate professional as outlined in your agreement, you still have the opportunity for the seller to pay or negotiate the price. Oh, and if you're concerned about getting out of the contract, of course there is an option there as well. Well, let's look at this buyer's agent agreement. If you start off at the top right hand side, it says Florida Realtors. This is the basic agreement set up by the attorneys for the real estate industry in Florida. I would suggest if there's a different name up there that the contracts have been changed. Section 2 is the time limit on how long this contract is going to last. Anywhere between a day, 6 months to a year. Section 3, I believe the location should only be in areas that the real estate agent works themselves. Section 4 is the broker's obligation to use their professional knowledge and skills to help the consumer in locating and viewing suitable properties, in negotiating and closing any resulting transaction, and cooperate with the real estate agent working with the owner. It's the broker's responsibility to make sure that you are informed if he or she is also representing someone else that's looking at the same property. It's also the broker's responsibility to adhere to the principles expressed in the Fair Housing Act. Number 5, consumer's obligation. Consumer agrees to cooperate with the broker in accomplishing the objectives of this agreement, therefore conducting all negotiations and efforts to locate suitable property only through the broker and referring to the broker all inquiries of any kind from real estate licensees, property owners, or any other source. Also to provide the broker with necessary third-party information and being available to meet with the broker at reasonable times, therefore holding the broker harmless for any losses, damages, and costs because of acting on the consumer's behalf. The consumer is responsible for the appropriate professional for legal, tax, and environmental situations. At the bottom of each page, there's a requirement of an initial from the consumer and also from the agent. Number 6, is there a non-refundable retainer fee? Number 7, compensation. Broker's compensation is earned when, during the term of this agreement or any renewal of the extension, consumer or any other person acting on or behalf of the consumer contracts to acquire real property as specified in this agreement or defaults on this contract to acquire property. Part A, which is the purchase, this could be a flat fee or percentage, or this is a percentage of the actual sale, either in dollar amount or percentages, and also possibly like a brokerage fee. Number 8, the protection period. Basically what happens here is if you terminate with the broker, any houses that you have seen through the broker has a 30-day wait period before you can purchase without having to pay the broker the fee. Number 9 states the cost to terminate the contract between the buyer and the buyer's agent. Number 10, dispute resolution. Real estate likes to use arbitration, and that requires both initials from the buyer and from the buying agent. Number 11, the broker may assign this agreement to another broker. Number 12, the broker will act as a transaction broker. The broker will deal honestly and fairly, will account for all funds, will use skill, care, diligence in the transaction, will disclose any known facts that are materially affect the value of the residential property, which are not readily observable to the buyer, will represent all offers and counteroffers in a timely manner unless directed otherwise in writing, and will have limited confidentiality with the buyer unless waived in writing. Number 13, other items. This is where the broker/buyer agent has a chance to put in other requirements. Number 14 is the acknowledgement page, where both the customer and the buying agent needs to sign. The last area is the disclosure and place for the buyer and the buying agent to sign. And now it's time to go look at some houses.